This is Deborah Atkinson, and you're listening to Voice for Fitness Professionals podcast, where I share programming, marketing, and promotion strategies that are easy, enjoyable, even fun, so you can create a business and a life you love. In today's episode, I'm going solo, talking about a topic that's really not all that fun, but that unfortunately we all have to deal with. I'm talking about the power of negative customer feedback. Well, first of all, talking about negative customer feedback is not a great hot topic when you get together with your colleagues. We would so much rather talk about exercise or talk about the bottom line or programs that are being successful. But seriously, negative customer feedback, if you can shift your mindset about it, can be a huge opportunity. So in this post, I'm sharing negative customer feedback and what to do about it. It's all about how you can increase your business and improve your customer satisfaction by attending to customers who aren't satisfied. People are not used to nice. Let's just get that out there. They're used to being taken advantage of and automated responses where you call in and you click 1 if, click 2 if, in, up to 5 or 6, you can't even remember what it was, and click here to repeat that message. And you never get to a real person. Been there? I've been there recently. There is an advantage to being small or medium-sized if your business fits that category, or if you're a large one, for that matter, with a dedicated responder. Because people like to talk to people. People don't do business with businesses. They do business with the people behind business. You can win. And this kind of customer service is amazing. Look, none of us is going to please all the people all the time, but you can learn from those unsatisfied customers and create an ally in them by handling sticky situations right. I'm going to start sharing 3 steps to dealing with negative customer feedback, and then I'll give you 3 more practical ways to do it when you actually have to do that. Like yesterday, that was on my to-do list. I needed to call somebody. So I'm going to give you what I was doing to prepare to be ready for that phone call. Because the reality is when you have to go sit down and do it, in theory, it sounded great. And then you're sweating because it's not pleasant, potentially, but it can be better. So let's go. 3 response requirements for negative customer feedback. Number 1, you've got to reach out and get it directly. You've got to ask instead of saying, no, here's our refund policy. And, when somebody quits or asks for a refund or cancels a subscription, always follow up with a phone call. Always find out, what was it? What was it that made you quit? Or what was it, if you've walked somebody through from a freebie you've given them, they've opted in and they've been on your list for a while, but they've never purchased anything and then they unsubscribe. What was it? Do you have a follow-up email that's going out to them that asks, what was the biggest obstacle to you getting started? I'd really like to understand it because my goal is to really help. So first of all, you've got to reach out to get it. Don't just let those people go away without a word from you, because that might result in them turning back around, admitting, here's what I'd like. Or maybe it will hint to you strongly that this is a missing piece in programs that you're offering that aren't really serving everyone. And you could decide, that's not my niche. And maybe you simply have a relationship with someone who this is their niche, and I can at least do my best to refer to that person and get this customer dissatisfied with our program, not a great fit for it, in the right place. So think of, first of all, reaching out, get the feedback, and make an effort that this is a part of your system. Number 2, listen without being defensive. This can be hard. Because your first response can be, I don't want to refund that $2,000. I don't want to refund that. That hurts. If you're a small business, I know it hurts. I know. But explore the options. Make sure that you realize that's what you're doing. So if you just listen, what may come out is that they were going through a really tough time, and it wasn't the program, it was that they couldn't use it. And maybe you can figure out a new way. So explore options, just be open to options. Understand what you wanted when you purchased or registered. I use those terms and I use the words, I just would like to explore options with you. I want to understand what you wanted when you first purchased or you registered. And let's see if we can find an alternative that is a good fit. And that's how I lead. Those are literally things that I will say in the first minute or two on the phone call. Probably after I've said, I thank you for your patience. I'm really wanted to reach out in person and let you know, there's a person behind it who had good intention for you. And I want to understand what happened with your experience and where there might be a way for us to continue to work together to get you what you wanted. Those words are very appropriate. So put those somewhere in print close to you. The third step is be transparent. Look, I don't want to refund you because it hurts. I say that right away because it's the elephant in the room, right? I mean, they're thinking they're not going to refund me. They're just going to give me the runaround. Well, I might, but I'm going to try to save them for sure. So I'm going to say, yeah, look, of course I don't want to refund you. It hurts. If there's another way that I can serve you that's a better fit, let's look for it. And if not, we don't want anyone in the wrong place or the wrong fit for, what they need. What I like to learn is what attracted you and what disappointed you and where potentially we can do a better job. So if you'll give me a few minutes of feedback, I really want to make sure that anything we say, words we put out there attract the right people. And unfortunately, because you had a negative experience, you may be able to provide insight for me. Would you be willing to do that? And now you've turned it around and you've asked them for a favor. And that can be a really empowering piece for anybody. We all like to give our opinion and say, here's this. So with the right person, this works really well. If you've got an individual who's a little harder to deal with, it may be hard to listen, but this really sets them up for giving you softer responses, the truth potentially, but yet in a way that you can really frame it for working for you. Sometimes the things you want to avoid can become the things you learn the most from. And this is so true with negative customer feedback. We all would love to please all the people all the time, but we're just not going to do it. So here's my 3 tips for actually making these kinds of calls. Number 1, make sure that the very first responder, if it's not you, your customer service frontline people know how to positively and quickly respond. What to say and what not to say is really important here. Whether this is, in my case, this is a virtual responder who responds to all of our support tickets, like support at flipping50.com, or it would also be support at fitnessmarketingmastery.com if it were you. I need to know that person can respond well. You might need to know maybe that and or your front desk people, because they will very likely be the target of negative customer feedback. Give them scripts and snippets of text to use if they're on the phone or they're sending an email in response. Don't assume they know what you are thinking. If you have complaints, keep those emails. Keep the phone calls, transcribe them, and use them to create responses so that you can create different scenarios. So hopefully you don't have a whole library of those, but you do want to keep any of them that you get. And especially you want to do this because you may see a pattern. You've got a lot of people complaining about the XYZ program or the da da da. It will point to some things you can do, and I'm going to get to that in a little bit. So here's what you need to give and empower those customer service people with. You know the way to deliver a sandwich of constructive criticism. You give a positive, the negative, and end with a positive, right? This is similar. So number one, express empathy. I'm sorry that happened. There's no admission of guilt here, that your program sucked or failed. Let's see if we can resolve this for you. And that's it. That's kind of, if you were typing an email, you want it quick. They don't want a lot of gobbledygook, right? In there, just give them the quick answer and then deliver the bad news. Maybe in this case, it's the refund policy for me. Yesterday, someone wanted a refund for a program they'd been in for about a month. Here's a reminder of our refund policy, and you provide the link or you provide literally the text to it. And then you end with a positive, the other side of the sandwich. However, every situation is unique and we want to understand what's happening for you and fix it. Deborah would love to talk personally to you. What's the best phone number to reach you and what days and times are good for you? And I always ask, what time zone are you in? If you're in a brick and mortar business or you see people only in your time zone, that's not something you have to add. So again, that goes like this. I'm so sorry that happened. Let's see if we can resolve this for you. Here's a reminder of our refund policy, but every situation is unique and we want to understand what's happening for you and fix it. Deborah would like to talk personally to you. What's the best phone number to reach you and what days and times are good for you? That's it. It's short and it's sweet. He doesn't do anything specific, and the door is open, leaving hope. That's good. The second step is do it at a time you're upbeat and ready, right? But for me, it's always do hard tasks first thing in the morning. And I would say for 90% of the people that I know, that's true. I mean, the more you put it off, the more you ruminate about it, you think how bad it's going to be, and you don't want to do it. So it's first thing in the morning after coffee, maybe a dog walk, and it's the first task that I do in the morning or the second, right after something I know is going to be positive. And that's, of course, if it fits with the individual's time request. But even if it's not, even if my best time of day is not kind of congruent with what they need, I'll use something like BombBomb to create a video response, which is a tool where you can record video either right from your phone or your computer and send it in a text or an email to anyone you want. They see your face. And could you do this from your phone? You could, but you can't track. Is it open? Have they looked at it? Are they responding? So that feedback is so good because you can track, do you need to send it again? And make sure if you send it via text once, they didn't see it, maybe send it via email another time. So I'll use that, or simply you could create a video or an audio, on your phone, just using your audio messages and then upload that to either an email or to a text message. So if their schedule and mine aren't aligned for direct connection right away, I still am reaching out. They know they're on my radar. They hear my voice or they see my face as well, and they know I'm authentically trying to understand them before anything else. In that message, I don't allude to anything more than exploring options, desire to understand what's happening, and request more feedback about our experience. It's less than a minute long, but it gives hope for neutral and not negative conversation for both me and for them. The third thing that I'll do is set my mind, right? got to be willing to do the right thing, and so do you. So that may result, if they've asked for a refund, it may be that you will refund them. If you have your refund policy verbiage written well, that should not be a problem. And we'll get to that in just a second. I will refund somebody. As much as that hurts if they're in the wrong seat on the bus, right? You don't want an unhappy customer spoiling it, especially if there's a group situation. That can spoil the goodness you already have going. And it's draining for you. In the case of a program, say it's $200, it's just not worth it. When there's 10 other people who are right for the program, who do belong there, and if you spent your energy on recruiting the right people and getting rid of the people who shouldn't be there, you're going to come out far more ahead. But here's what negative feedback can do for you. It's a great opportunity to review. It's a wake-up call. Your refund policy. What do you say about the refunds? I'm very careful that in any program where there are lots of downloads, lots of freebies, once they get those, I'm not going to refund. I'm just not, because they've already gotten it. And I'm not going to probably switch programs for them either, because they've already gotten one full program. I might allow them to repeat it if it's a specific, this is a 1-month program starting right now. You're in for July. But if they, for some reason, couldn't participate and they want a refund because of that, I will defer it and say, you know what, we'll restart it in August. You let me know when life settles down and you're able to do this, and we'll add you to the program that month. Just be sure you reach out to us before the deadline for that next month, and you'll be in. No problem. So we'll do that. So you're reviewing your refund policy, and where that refund policy lives, you can review that as well. Is it something that's not just small print at the bottom of every page on your website? Because I don't read those. Do you? I don't. But it should live, on the page and on the product page. If they only go to your store and they've loved everything they've seen about you. Some people never make it to the sales page. They just do it because you created it and they love you. But you want to have something there that says, before you click, make sure that you realize once you have all of the information and our emails have been sent, not that you open it, not that you receive it, because you really don't have any proof. We often, in this day of email sending going crazy, it's on crack, right? So from our records in our CRM, we can often see we've sent it, even that they've opened it, and they will say, I never received it. And that might just be my audience of 45 to 70-year-old women who are distracted, and they might click something on their phone and then it's not looking new or live on their computer, or it's stuck in promotional categories on their computer and they don't go there to look, but yet it came through on their phone. It's a black hole sometimes. So make sure that your refund policy reflects, did we send it? Did it go to the right email address? Because sometimes somebody will request a refund. They didn't receive it. They'll tell you, but they did. It was sent. It just went to the wrong email address because they had typed it in incorrectly, which also happens a lot because people are doing their response on their phones and their thumbs get in the way, right? So be sure you're very clear on the refund policy, and potentially, put a little clip in there before they sign out and check out that it's really important that your email address is correct. So review that one more time before you click send so that we can get this to the right place. That happens a lot. So put those little notes in there, and if you don't have them, a negative customer feedback may be just because of some of these details. Look at what you say on your sales page and your product pages about who is this for? Who is this not for? And let me share a little bit about why I tell you these things and why I know these things to be true because of my recent brush with negative customer feedback. The customer I talked to just yesterday happens to be a physical therapist. Now, she ended up in my program that's actually the membership. And our membership is made for a continuity program for people who've already done programs, literally worked with me in a live or do-it-yourself coaching programs or worked one-on-one with me. And they go on and they think, wait a minute, I don't want to do this on my own yet. I don't want to fly solo yet. What have you got? What's next for me? It's our membership. But this woman had purchased the membership without having done a program. So clearly on the sales page, maybe the print about this is best for people who have done a program. You've worked with me before in private coaching or in a program. It's clearly there on the sales page. But this could be just a mover and a shaker. You know, she's experienced. She's a physical therapist thinking, okay, I've got this. She bought the program, the membership, for herself, not for her clients. So by creating positive problem-solving experience for her, I may have actually increased the likelihood that she refers the women in my demographic that she's working with, also coincidentally, she mentioned, in her practice to me. Because I gave her a positive customer experience, even though she may be exiting. And when you can exchange one for many, yes, just yes. You can save a customer who gives negative feedback. You can often create a raving fan in them, whether they stay a customer or not. Whether they buy or they stay or not, they will be impressed, if not shocked, that you took time to listen and reach out. I've got book recommendations for you if this topic is something that you know you need to brush up on. Your customer service, the feeling that you care, getting to your customers. There are 3 books that I list here: The Power of Small, The Power of Nice, and Raving Fans, and I will link to them directly in the show notes today at fitnessmarketing.com. Or fitnessmarketingmastery.com. It's early in the morning. Can you tell? /negative feedback. And I hope that you will tune in and be sure to pull the links, grab the books, and or suggest that your customer service reps read them or do a book review if you don't already do that with your team and your staff, or you have a library. I'm sitting in mine right now. So with that, if you have a question or a comment, you've got a great customer service story, I'd love to hear it out below, or reach out to me at fitnessmarketingmastery.com. You'll find the notes at fitnessmarketingmastery.com /negative feedback, and I would really appreciate a rating in iTunes. It really helps us spread the word to other small business owners in fitness who are trainers or health coaches or the bosses they work for. I know you're out there. So you can build a business and have people who are more comfortable marketing, selling, and doing the sticky stuff like dealing with negative customer feedback. Check out the blog and other podcast episodes at fitnessmarketingmastery.com.